think, the markets were certainly debating whether we would get an actual increase in PEP today or whether they would wait a little bit further. So it looks like they've taken the decision to wait, which I think was the broad consensus. But they have taken some measures. I think there was always going to be something that they would announce today. So they have eased further the TLTRO conditions, and they've announced a new pandemic refinancing operation for banks. So we'll need to see more in the details on that. But certainly, there have been some steps that have been taken here. And, I think anything at this stage is helpful. And of course, the financial market participants are looking for whatever it takes. So I think at this moment in time, you would always need some policy announcements to be made. And while the PEP size has been maintained, there have been some measures taken which will reassure the markets to some degree.
Does it make sense to you that we would see this significant step lower in the European bank stocks? They have announced easing of conditions with the TLTRO 3 program. So are the banks going to be worse off as a result?
Well, just before COVID arrived, we were beginning to see some signs emerging of some pickup that was potentially going to result in some steepening of yield curves, which would have been obviously beneficial for banks. And, now COVID has just completely taken that away and raised the prospects of negative rates being in place for longer. So, COVID overall is clearly a negative, and certainly in terms of sectors that are underperforming. Beyond energy, the financial sector is the sector that's underperforming in equity markets, and I think for good reason. I think we'll have to see the details on this, but certainly it looks like the ECB are trying to address and give more specific support for the banking sector. So we maybe shouldn't read too much into the knee-jerk reaction and wait to see the details on this program, and it could ultimately be a positive step in terms of further additional support for the banking sector.